Alright guys, I'm making this little short tutorial video. And this particular video is gonna be about keyframing. I just wanted to kind of make the quick little overview and kind of show you guys how to do some basic keyframing on any project that you have, where it's video, photos, or anything that you're using. So right here I have just a little picture of my logo or whatnot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys just how to do different keyframes with it, so I can show you guys how to make it keyframe from small to big to small, make it move, or whatever kind of keyframe. But I'm going to show you guys kind of the basics. It's not going to be nothing really complex or anything. It's more so just just a basic idea of how to keyframe and how it works. So right now we have the image right here, and keyframing to begin with, we're gonna start an event pan crop tool, whatever you call it. So here's the crop tool right here. So to zoom in and out like this, I'm just scrolling on my wheel, my mouse wheel, and go in and out. So this is pretty much what we're gonna be working with the keyframes. So let's just say I want to make it go from the size it's at now to a smaller size. So I wanted to kind of shrink down to a smaller size. So what we're gonna do is, now to explain, let me explain this to you guys first, because I don't want you guys to get too lost. I want you guys to get lost or nothing. So when you bring up the event pan crop menu, or the pop-up, when you bring this up, it's gonna always come like this. So it's always gonna start on top of your frame, and on top of the picture, and it's gonna be centered. So right now it's considered centered. So if you right click on this, it's gonna give you different options. So if I flip horizontal, now it's gonna turn the logo backwards, if you see it right here. So, and if you go flip vertical, then it's upside down, and so forth and so on. So those are kind of basic things that people should already know, or if you guys most likely already know. So you can restore it by just right clicking and press restore. And now let's say I want to make it shrink down to small. So now let me explain the keyframes. So keyframes, got it cut off. So keyframing, here's the first keyframe. It's always going to start with the first keyframe. And what you want to do, this is the way I do it. I go ahead and make another keyframe. It doesn't matter where, because you can place the keyframes wherever you want. So whenever you make a new keyframe, you can always drag it to wherever you need it, to desired spots or whatever. So this first keyframe right here is equivalent to this frame. So notice how, if I want to, let's say, make it bigger, well, let's delete this keyframe right quick, just so I can show you guys head on. So we're gonna start with this keyframe. If I want to make it bigger, then pay attention to the actual. I make it bigger, then it'll shrink. If I zoom in on it a little bit, it'll get, it'll zoom in on the logo itself and kind of make it big, whatnot. Small, big, small. So this keyframe pretty much represents what your actual framing actually looks like, depending on how you manipulate it. So let me go back to restore. So now, if I want to kind of make it shrink, and let me get to that finally, I'm going to make a new keyframe, and I'm going to make this frame small. So pretty much what I want to do is I can take one of these corners. It don't matter the corner. You can actually use one of the actual side edges, but it'll give a different kind of magnification and shrinkage. It'll kind of distort it in different ways depending on how you have your settings. So I grab one of the edges, and then I pull it out and make it smaller. So now when I do that, I can start from the first keyframe, which is going to be from the actual default position of all the way to this, which will kind of like zoom it out. So depending on, and the reason why it's like this in the actual frame itself is because I'm halfway into the timeline itself. So when I go back to the beginning, and then I just press space on a keyboard. You see how it shrinks down, and that will be according to this keyframe. Now, the speed of it is depending on how close and how far away you have these keyframes. So this is keyframe number 1. It looks like this. Keyframe number 2 looks like this. So this is the default state that we talked about a little bit earlier, where when you load this up, it's going to start here. And this is the keyframe after I manipulated it. So as you can see, that's kind of how it works. It's kind of like a transition from this into this, and it's going to be a smooth transition. So as you guys saw before, the transition is going to be like pretty smooth. and then it's gonna stop where you stop the keyframe. So in this case, I stopped it right about just after 6 seconds. So you can, and like I said, you can place it anywhere you want. Now, if you wanted that to speed up, all you would have to do is go. Let me start back and just bring it a little closer, and then let's see how that looks. So, and it speeds it up a little more, and you can even go even closer. And since I have the clip so long, it's gonna kind of make it so I can close this in a little bit, and now maybe drag it in. Just let's see how it looks, kind of a little close. So maybe about right here. Let's see how that looks. And as you can see, it just kind of makes it go, speeds it up a little bit. So now I can also add another layer on top of the keyframing itself. After it lands, let's say where it is now, let's say I want to make it go off screen. So I can add another keyframe. So from here, it's going to be in the position of that from this, after this, once it hits this keyframe. And so from here, we can do something like maybe make it go off screen, or maybe get back, maybe enlarge again or something. But for this day, I'm just make it go off screen. So let's say, and I keep exiting out. So I meant to do this. Okay, so now for this keyframe, I'm gonna make it go off screen. So what you want to do is, I have these different settings over here, and I already have them kind of default set to how I always mainly have it set. So this is pretty much is gonna be about the center of the framing, or the center of the camera. And this is going to be pretty much the lock, well, it's what it says, the lock aspect ratio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually keep both of these on, because I don't want it to mess up the centering of the actual frame, and I want to keep it locked to the aspect ratio. Now, if I turn off the aspect ratio, then you're going to get things, I can do this, to make it, a little. But if I have it on, then whatever ratio I have, it'll just kind of like zoom in and whatnot. But so let's get rid of that keyframe. Add this keyframe back, or no? Delete that. And then I can. So now we're here. So we're here. Okay, now so let's make this other keyframe here, and I'm gonna try to show you guys this real quick. And then now what you want to do is just take your whole frame and just move it somewhere off screen. So this will be considered off screen because of the simple fact that the frame, just the way I have the actual this thing, I don't even know what to call it, but just the way I have that set. So you just move it off screen, and then now you can see, start from the beginning. So it'll be like this, so it kind of show you like a little, off screen, and then you actually can bring it back on screen. You can do different things with it. So I can add another keyframe, and now I can go back to, I can press restore. Let's see how that looks. That's probably gonna look crazy. So so it's like go off screen, I shrink down, go off screen, come back to regular. So that's just a little short way I can show you guys how to do little keyframes. Hopefully you guys got that, and you it helps you guys. If you got any more questions and any further questions about the program itself, you guys can leave a comment. I'll definitely be glad to answer any more questions and make another video, and show you guys more tutorials and whatever kind of things you guys would like to learn and want to know about the actual program itself and anything. But yeah guys, that's the end of the video. Leave a like if you like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.